Greetings, legendary readers. Welcome back to Larry's Legendary Library, where I explore science fiction, fantasy, and other bits and bobs. Today is all about science fiction. I'm going to cover my top 10 sci-fi books of all time. Some of these books will be deep and philosophical. Some are just purely adrenaline entertainment. Some are pulpy, but basically these are books that stuck with me and that I have enjoyed. I did have a hard time narrowing it down, but as my channel is now 6 months old, I thought I wanted to get this benchmark out there with my first top 10 favorites so that I can have something to compare to down the road. I like to see how it changes year to year. I also hope to do my top 10 fantasy, my top 10 bits and bobs, and also my top 10 all genre. So stay tuned for those videos in the coming weeks. Some of these 10 will be obvious classics that you expect to see on most everyone's top 10 list, and some of these you might be surprised by. Before I jump into it, quick note, I basically picked only one book per author so that this list wouldn't be cluttered with, 3 or 4 authors out of the 10 books, because I love those authors so much. And when I did that, I picked the first book of the series as the example of the book that is my favorite. And in most cases, I really enjoy the series. So, but anyway, so just wanted to give you that caveat. One more thing, there are 5 that missed the cut, not by much, but depending on how they age, they could move up or down in the years ahead, and I thought I would just mention them here briefly. They are Revelation Space by Alastair Reynolds, a gothic space opera with some really cool post-humans. The Time Ships by Stephen Baxter, which I read with The Time Machine by H.G. Wells back to back and just really loved that experience. Solandis by D. William Moore. Just an indie gem that is worth checking out. Consider Phoebus by Ian M. Banks, space opera, aliens, and just a great adventure. And The Boar Maker by Linda Nagata, nanotech done right and ahead of its time. Now jumping into the top 10, some of these books I don't have, I've lent out to others. Some I read on my Kindle. And so for whatever reason, I'll show you the ones I have, and then on the others, I'll try to put up a picture. So without further ado, number 10, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I love this book, such a fun science fiction. It's got a space problem solving, kind of like Star Trek, solving when certain issues happen. A crazy first contact story that I love, and it's supposed to have a movie adaptation coming out March 20th of 2026, which I am really looking forward to. Number 9, Pandora's Star by Peter F. Hamilton, Behemoth, 1,000-page space opera deliciousness, great characters, and awesome aliens. Number 8 is The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin. I'll be honest, when I first read this book, I DNF'd it because it just kind of felt slow and tedious to me. But my son kept after me to read it, and so I picked it up and just loved it. My favorite parts were the journey through the frigid north and just the survival in that bitter environment, and then also the building friendship between our 2 main characters. Just really thoroughly enjoyed the book. Number 7, Marrow by Robert Reed. This, I guess I'd call it a hidden gem. Has a great ship the size of a very large planet, cruising the galaxy. No one knows where it came from, yet it seems to be on a course. There's countless human civilizations aboard, and just an incredible concept that really struck a chord with me. and the central mystery about what is at the marrow, the core of this planet, pure brilliance. Number 6, Hyperion by Dan Simmons. Each character's story adds depth. I just love the different pilgrims' stories, and they're all so different and yet also entertaining. The Shrike, big, scary, unforgettable presence. I loved all the planets and just the beautiful world building on all the different planets, and just some great sci-fi concepts. Number 5, the book with the absolute worst cover, Deathstalker by Simon R. Green. Sometimes you just want a wild, pulpy, over-the-top space adventure, and Deathstalker delivers. It's big, it's brash, it's ridiculous, it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's also surprisingly thoughtful under the surface. I don't think he gets enough credit for how much heart that he puts into the worlds that he creates. And number 4, the Butlerian Jihad by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. I know that this would be a controversial pick by some standards. Some Dune aficionados could probably consider that heresy, that anything other than Frank Herbert's original books just aren't even considered. But this book lit up my imagination, learning about Frank Herbert's Dune, the world that he created 10,000 years before his creation. Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson pick it up, lay out the history, the war against the thinking machines, the origin of the great houses, the schools of Dune, the Mentats, the Bene Gesserit, the Spacing Guild, and for me, it's not just a spin-off, but it's a cornerstone of the saga. Number 3, Shadow of the Torturer by Gene Wolfe. This reads like a fantasy. I probably could have put it on a fantasy list. It certainly has science fiction elements, so I put it here. The Shadow of the Torturer is dense, it's layered, it's full of hidden meaning. And my first read a few months ago, I didn't really know anything about the book beforehand, but just enjoyed it from a purely entertaining read point of view. But following reading it and then watching BookTube about it and just realizing a lot of the depth that I didn't even pick up on the first time through, it will definitely require a reread, but just an awesome book. Number 2, Off Armageddon Reef by David Weber. David Weber is best known for Honor Harrington, which I also like, but only one book per author, and this is my favorite by this author, the Safehold series. Off Armageddon Reef is something special. It's a mix of hard science fiction, historical style epic. It also has some fantasy taste to it. Layers of deception, the world building that David Weber creates, the clash of faith and progress, the science fiction retelling of the Reformation. It hooked me completely, and I am enjoying reading my way through the Safehold series. And number 1 should come as no surprise, Dune by Frank Herbert. It had to be Dune. What else can I say? Politics, ecology, religion, philosophy, intrigue. Frank Herbert packed it all in there. He made something timeless. It's not just my favorite science fiction book, but it's, in my opinion, the greatest novel ever written, period. I've reread it several times. It's probably been 15 or 20 years since I've read it. So it'll be interesting as I'm working my way through the Dune saga chronologically, about to finish up the Schools of Dune trilogy, and I really am excited to, when I finally get to where Dune falls in the chronology, to read it again after covering all that backstory. I'm just really excited about it. And there you have it, my top 10 science fiction books of all time. But this is my list. I'd be interested to know what your list looks like. Are any of my books on your list? Are there some on your list that you think I might enjoy? Did I get it right with putting Dune at number 1? Or would you put something else at the top? Let me know in the comments your thoughts of my top 10. Share some of your top 10. I'd love to see it. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to like and subscribe, and join me as we continue Larry's Legendary Library. Until then, keep reading and stay legendary.